In the wake of the pandemic, wellness became radically more important overnight. So what's in store for 2021? The Global Wellness Summit has unveiled its top wellness trends for the year, including these 5.
TV, the music industry, Samsung Smart TV has a whole portal for free wellness and fitness classes. We just see that big media, the apps, online, screens, music, there's a lot of interest in wellness, and we think that's going to affect a lot of people in a very positive way because it'll democratize who's able to participate in wellness. Boosting your immune system is actually not a good idea. What we need to do is balance it, maybe strengthen it. The emphasis is going to be on the metabolic health, understanding the microbiome, and personalized nutrition. That those are the 3 areas that are going to have more attention, and especially the microbiome, because 70% of our immune system is affected there. Look for the word immunity to be everywhere, and hopefully for us all to learn more about it and become much more familiar with true balancing of immunity. This is about architecture contributing to our spiritual and therefore our body, mind, spirit well-being. So we're no longer just with architecture providing basic architecture or even the self-esteem, McMansions. Now we're looking at architecture for more of that self-actualization, and some interesting things are happening in that arena. There's breath festivals, and there's a lot of classes, there's a lot of books. The difference now is that breath is not just the woo-woo yoga, here's some yoga breathing. This is about some real science that shows the value of learning and doing exercises in breathing that can really help your health. And the pandemic has brought that to the light also. It's a very sobering written trend by a Black researcher, one of our research team actually, about what it's felt like to be a Black person and go to some of these spas, wellness places, retreats, which has not always felt very comfortable. And I hope it will spark a lot of not only learning and education, but a lot of movement for doing more to expand wellness for all, especially for Black and Brown communities.
Joining us now is Susie Ellis, the CEO of the Global Wellness Institute. Now, Susie, do you think the pandemic has made wellness more of a necessity than a luxury?
The pandemic has definitely shone a spotlight on wellness, and it has become more of a necessity, more of a have to rather than want to. More and more people are interested in, and this is a good thing, taking care of themselves, because the pandemic has gone on long enough where people recognize there isn't going to be a quick fix. So taking care of oneself, being in better shape, improving immune systems, being dedicated to health and mental health is really important.
What does wellness mean to you?
Wellness is self-care. Doing my part for taking care of myself, body, mind, and spirit. And that is a distinction between healthcare. Healthcare you do when you need to cure something. Yes, you need to take medication maybe. There's surgeries. There's things that the medical world does. And I think with COVID, it's a good example. I mean, if you have COVID and you need to go to the hospital, you are with the healthcare system. But what about self-care? What about taking care of yourself, doing, wearing the masks, doing social distancing, keeping your immune system strong, going to bed, and having good night's sleep. So that is a lot of wellness. So any activities that contribute to your self-care, to me, that's wellness.
What are some practical things people can do right now to boost their wellness?
one thing that we're seeing that people are needing more and paying more attention to now, or should be, is connections with other people. Because with the pandemic, people aren't traveling as much, they're maybe not seeing their families as much, but it's really important for people to stay connected with a few people and having, deep conversations. It's not as obvious as something that needs to be done for wellness as the exercise and healthy eating and stress reduction.
Now, the Global Wellness Institute talks about mental wellness and not just mental health. What do you want people to know about mental wellness?
And mental health has been something that's been living a little bit more on the medical arena, in the medical conversation. And it also has had a bit of a stigma. And mental health, of course, can be very serious. And, there's a continuum in terms of where people are. Mental wellness, on the other hand, is something that we look at as proactive that can contribute to a person's mental health. For example, yoga, mindfulness, exercise, even beauty programs contribute to people's mental well-being. And there is a lot in the wellness world, and there's a lot that people themselves can do. Having friends, being with others, getting good sleep. Lots of the things that we talk about in the wellness world can also, and definitely do, exercise, of course, lots of evidence for that, healthy eating, contribute to a person's mental wellness.
Is there anything else people should know about wellness in the age of COVID?
The importance of nature. I think that there's a lot of healing in nature that people haven't necessarily known about or experienced. Maybe slowing down a little. That's kind of, I think, a silver lining that has happened with COVID. And then there's that whole spiritual part, which also is touched on in one of our trends. People are making a little more time for reflection and thinking about bigger topics, such as why am I here on this earth? And what am I here to do? What's my calling? And I've been struck by the fact that, when the pandemic first started, there was a thought that, well, maybe this will be, 2-3 months, 4 months, and then we'll go back to normal. And I think if it had only been a short time, we would have probably gone right back to what we were doing. But because it's been extended, and even now we're looking at, people recognize, well, this may not be the last pandemic. People are now really being much more thoughtful and more able to make some lifestyle changes, because this is something for the long term. It's not short term. And in a way, I think that might be a positive. I think that's a silver lining.
That's Susie Ellis from the Global Wellness Institute.